Lego. Lego.
There we go, everybody. James Camacho. Oh, dude, I got you right as soon as you were about to drink water.
That's
Go
my
ahead,
bad.
bro.
Terrible.
Have a delicious
My
sip.
timing's impeccable.
All good, dude. So you just came from the Upper West Side, and I see you have a pretty busy night tonight. Today being Thursday.
It's going pretty well, man. Yeah, tonight's one of those nights where you like for comedy. I look at my whatever calendar schedule, itinerary, whatever you want to call it. Like itinerary is too nice of a word for a comedy schedule, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna miss any shows, but I'm gonna be definitely running late. Definitely probably break it even because I'm gonna have to take an Uber. I have to go to the Brooklyn Tiny Cupboard.
I saw that. That's like your first show, right?
Yeah, and then I have to go to the Strip in the Upper East Side. And then I have to go to Soho, which is around here.
Ish. Kinda.
Yeah.
You just keep taking the train.
And then I have to go back to Brooklyn. And
what's the most amount of shows you've done in a night?
I think I've done 7 or 8 a couple times. And yeah, it's too much. You know? Like as the more I do comedy, the more I'm like 3 spots is fun.
Yeah.
And then like 4 or 5. Once you get to 5, it's a little bit ridiculous. Unless every spot's like a paid spot, then you're just racking up dough and you're working on stuff. But it's like, you know, I used to do these spots at LOL, and I would do 5 in like 2 hours because they had 3 rooms. You would just get off stage, go to the next one, and then in between you would go around and do other shows. But it's like at a certain point, it's like you don't even remember what bits you did.
Right.
Like by the 5th, 6th show, you're like, literally you stop and you look at the crowd and you go, fuck, did I say this one already?
Yeah, so Gianmarco Ceresi was actually on the podcast a few days ago, and he was talking about how...
Is Gianmarco Ceresi?
Gianmarco.
I always thought it was Gianmarco Ceresi.
No, Gianmarco Ceresi. So he was
all
good.
So I did it all Irish.
So, dude, he was just talking about how, yeah, bro, I mean, you can get that many spots in a night. It's stressful, but, you get to work on stuff, and... I guess if you're not break at the bank, like having to sprint to other comedy shows, like taking Ubers here and there, it could be worth it for a long night like that.
I think it's every comic's got to do it for, it's fun. It's an experience. But I think the more you get to know yourself, the more you can kind of like see what you what's good for you.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like if someone offered me 7 paid spots, I'm all for it. But if someone's like, hey, like here's 4 and the last 3 are going to not be paid. I think it's like I don't even want to go through the stress of getting to that place.
Yeah.
Unless I do have a lot of new shit, but it's like if I have to I have to go to the cupboard, but I have 5 shows in Manhattan. To me, it's like too much stress, and the stress bogs me down, and like I get depressed, and it's like, I don't handle stress well. Okay. So I think I like to like be comfortable in terms of like. I like this safety of like, oh, I'm not gonna miss that spot, or I don't want to get in trouble, and to me that's too stressful.
Right.
Yeah. But
well, from here you're going to where's Tiny Cupboard again? Bushwick.
I don't know what part of Brooklyn.
Something like that.
Far.
I believe so. Yeah, a little bit far, and then you got to come back to the Upper East Side. So you're definitely traveling a lot this morning. It's funny how like. If you were in really any other place, I'd say probably in the country, I mean, there's no shot you'd be able to do even more than like 3 spots in one night, which is the beautiful thing about the New York City subway, but also
it's the best.
A little bit stressful that, you got to rely on the subway fully.
Literally complaining about first world problems.
Yeah, dude. I mean, well, New York is the the mecca for comedy, as of course and I see you're headlining a bunch of shows in the future. Is there anything in the future coming up in the next couple of weeks that you're really looking forward to in terms of headlining?
I'm headlining this place called Rhino Comedy Club in Suffern, and I don't want to say I'm not excited, but I've been there before, and it's like 30 minutes outside the city.
How do you get there, Long Island?
I'll have someone. I have someone that's gonna drive me up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm at the point now where I get people to drive me to places.
Let's go. Nice.
Yeah.
What, your opener or what?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird to call my opener. It feels like I own him or something. It's no. He's my opener, I guess. And I mean, I have a few guys. I don't know if anyone has like. There are definitely some comics that have like opener.
Yeah.
Singular.
Sure.
For me, it's like I have
a bunch of friends.
I have a couple, that I go to. Yeah.
That's always great. So I actually opened the show at the Miami Improv for Hannah Berner about like 3 weeks ago. And that was great. Yeah. Just in general, like I was down there. Yeah. My dad is down there for the winter for the next few months. And I was just like, I was already there. So, I hopped on stage and it was great.
That's fun.
Yeah. And people love opening, I feel like. Why wouldn't you love opening? You know,
it's so easy. Like I didn't when I was like opening, I always thought it was very stressful because I wanted to prove myself, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But now that I'm headlining, now I look at the opener. I'm like, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you just like warm up the crowd a little bit, which usually goes well, especially if like you're handpicked by the person who's headlining.
And if there's like fucking 3 shows, 2 shows in one night, the first show you usually only do like 10, 15 minutes because you don't want to go over time. The show doesn't, you don't want the second show to start. You basically just go high, do your best shit, try a new thing, and then do your closer. So it's like, and if you bomb, which I've done plenty of times as an opener, the headliner just cleans it up and no one even gives like they still come up to you like we had a good time. You're like, yeah. Even though I sucked, you still had a good time. But if you bomb as the headliner, no one has a good time.
Right.
You know?
Well, how many minutes are you doing as a headliner?
Oddly enough, I try to do 45, which I think is the standard.
Okay.
But oddly enough, when I go to these clubs, and it might just be because I'm headlining like newer clubs, they always ask me what I want to do. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to tell me what I want to do?
I think that's great, man. I think we're moving in the direction of where creators and stuff have so many things on their plate in terms of like we were just talking about before we hopped on recording. Like you used to have a podcast, but now you're recording the clips, you're recording little bits, whatever it is, putting the full episode on YouTube. But like now, I think comedy clubs in general may just all of a sudden, maybe not all of a sudden, but since TikTok, Instagram, and all these social media apps have become very prevalent, like they're looking to the talent to kind of see fully what they want to do because they have a good idea in terms of managing their own career or whatever.
Right. I even think, talking about openers, I really think like 3 years ago, whatever, bringing your own opener was like a privilege. Like you had to earn that. And now I think everyone gets the option. Even like nobody's like me. If I say I want to bring someone, they're usually there's no problem. I always feel like that was like a big ask.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think since like comedy also has made a comeback since Corona, it's been like on a hot streak. And then, Omicron was an issue for a moment.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, I don't know, it's still moving upwards. And also you go to a place like where you're headlining and stuff in New York, I can imagine that there's really not that much comedy on a day-to-day basis. So when they have the opportunity to go out on a Friday or Saturday, they're pumped. If they're seeing James Camacho, they're seeing whoever's headlining on that particular day.
It's definitely true. Like you go to a town, there's not a lot going on. So they're super grateful, which is awesome. But there's also, to be devil's advocate, it's like some of these towns haven't heard any type of humor, before. So it's so easy to I guess, be a hack.
Really? And
like do dick jokes, race jokes, and like stuff that's like, or do you crowd work where you're just like, you guys are married? The guy goes, for 1 second goes, oh, you go, ha! You don't know how long, you hate her, you're a piece of shit.
Crowd work kind of stuff, right?
Right, and that will kill on the road because they don't go comedy, they don't go to a lot of comedy shows. But in New York, most people have been to a few comedy clubs. They've seen, they have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all this stuff. They're up to date with everything going on in social media. So they're way smarter and savvier. So your stuff needs to be extra tight, extra good in New York for sure.
Do you feel like every single day you need to sit down and write a joke, or is it like every single day I need to somewhat progress my career forward in that I'm recording a TikTok, maybe I'm doing podcasts, putting it on YouTube, putting up clips?
Here's what I think. I think I'm kind of I think I'm kind of a creature of habit in this sense where like for the first 7 years of comedy, I wrote every day, got up every day, and I was like, I'm OCD about it. But now I'm starting to I realized I have like a 45 minutes I can headline with. I have a set in the city I can do. Now it's just about monetizing and bringing people out. And so now I'm focusing my energy on the business side, but I'm not doing the writing. And I feel weird and I feel guilty and I feel like, but it's what I got to do. And I wrote a new joke today, but it was an accident. It was like, I just saw a news article and I joked and then my girlfriend's cousin laughed. I'm like, that's not even me writing. That's just me being just a dickhead in conversation,
So on a night like tonight when you have, 4 shows?
4 shows, yeah.
How much of that 45 material will you be doing all throughout the 4 shows? Do you think you'll probably use all of it or you kind of maybe repeat a little bit? How's that looking like for you?
So I think in the city, it's like usually you have like a 15-minute set in the city you have ready to go. That's your killer stuff. So it'll be like I would say the cupboard and I guess just the cupboard. The cupboard, I'll maybe try some newer stuff, like stuff that I've been doing, but that's newer. And then at the strip, I'll probably start off and then if I feel like I'm in a groove, I'll sprinkle in stuff. And then what the fuck's the other show? Soho Playhouse. It's like the first time I'm
What is that at? Is that at Soho House? Soho Playhouse?
I have
Or
no
no,
idea.
it's just like another
The
place called-
Heroin Club?
Heroin?
Huron. Huron. Heroin's good too.
Yeah, the heroin. That might be better than the Heroin Club.
Yeah, Huron. I don't even know. That sounds like Greek.
Yeah, I don't know.
Greek god of
So
nothing.
but 4 spots, and you kind of basically have an idea of what you're doing, and then mix in stuff here and there. Whatever, regular Thursday night.
So tonight it's like I have these. I think about 2 bits that are new that have been working, but I'm like trying to like sharpen, tighten, and stuff, and just kind of prove that it's going to be a material.
Yeah.
And then I have like a new joke, a topical joke that I want to try to see if I can get on video for social media.
Okay.
That's pretty much the testy stuff, and then everything around that will just be making sure I kill.
So before you were talking about social media manager, how closely do you work with your social media manager, and how does that kind of look like on a day-to-day payments and him with clips, whatever?
It's a her. First off,
excuse me,
misogynistic pig. No, it's just a new thing. There's a new thing with the social media manager. I just felt like I'm very disorganized. Like, I think I'm a smart guy, but like most comedians have notebooks, right? One notebook, everything's in here. You have a couple people you'll see they have like little yellow things with the little.
Like a bookmark?
Yeah, book. See, I'm an idiot. So they'll have like little bookmarks that are color coded and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I have 11 notebooks right now. Black marble ones, 5 stars, little ones. I have computer notes, and there is no rhyme or reason. It's just whatever I feel like grabbing. I have napkins with notes on them.
Yeah. And
it should be just in one place. I have things everywhere. I'm all spread out, and I'm not even it's all over my apartment. It's terrible. Like I have probably papers in my jacket that are new jokes that I won't even remember because I just lose them, or they just go in the garbage or whatever, or they put them in the laundry and they're done. So it's like I always felt like with social media, I have a lot going on, but I'm not exactly organized or kind of know what direction I'm trying to head in, or what my goals are necessarily. All I know is like I want to get more following, make more money, and that's it.
Sure.
So I hired someone because I felt like I just needed help, and also like I kind of like built this thing up to where now it's kind of just been stagnant for a while.
How long is a while? Would you define?
I think like during the pandemic, up until the end of last year.
So would you say like the past, year and few months?
Yeah. So it's like I went from like 5,000 followers on Instagram to like 12K.
Yeah.
And that was like beginning of this year. And then it's just kind of, what is it? Yeah, it's just kind of been stagnant. And then TikTok, I went to like 50,000, and then it's maybe gone up like a few thousand since then.
Dope.
And yeah, it's like, you get complacent with whatever, but I just feel like what am I doing? Like I need help. So, and then she's great. Like she's telling me like ways I can make money that I hadn't even thought of. Talking about analytics and just marketing techniques to brand yourself. And I'm trying all of them, and it's only been a short amount of time, and I feel like I'm a little more guided as before, where I was just like throwing shit all over the place,
Yeah.
So, yeah, in terms of like I see her twice a week.
Yeah, wow.
And she's super nice. I mean, she's like, we met Monday and she talked to me for 3 hours.
Wow.
It's almost like a therapy session.
Does she work with other comics?
She doesn't work with other comics. So she works with companies usually. It's like I'm her own, she's like my consultant kind of. She usually does is like companies come to her and she has a whole team that will take over their social media. That's usually what she does.
So you don't post your own stuff, really?
Oh, I post everything.
So she just will send you the clip to post.
She'll tell me what trends are working, what strategies I should do, because I like finding the clips, editing. I don't mind doing that stuff. It's just like I want to make sure I'm doing it, like posting it or doing things right, So she's. I mean, right now she's like we're gonna meet tomorrow actually, and she's gonna tell me about. Like she's going through all my analytics, and she's like going to tell me what trends are the best and like kind of where I should be leaning towards.
So you find that this is like for however much money it is that it's like beneficial for what you're doing?
As of right now, I feel good about it because I'm actually like I'm a one-man team, and now I feel like I have someone on my team.
Nice.
That's I feel like they're passionate about helping me out.
Okay.
You know, but then it's about results. So we'll see how the results are.
So how long have you been doing it?
Like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's very new.
So you see though, but like once you start to see that when you're on the road and then you see more traction and stuff like that, I'm sure it'll keep going.
I just want to make more right now necessarily. It's called conversion when you do something on TikTok and then you post a ticket link and then people actually go there and buy it. It's called a conversion.
Yeah.
Conversion I think is definitely a goal, but right now my goal is just to start making more money, whether it's like more views equals more payment from TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. And also it's like ads. Like she was like, dude, you have like X amount of views per video. You could just take that number and go to a company like whatever for razors, show them that like 50% of your audience is this demographic, and you could like try to get ads, you know. And I'm like, you know, I feel like such a simp. I'm like, just like, I don't know, really, I could. And she's like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, you can get an intern. I'm like, who the fuck would want an intern for me? She goes, there are people that would want to work with you, like, and help you out, and you give them college credit, they'll fucking do it. Yeah. And I'm just like, literally like drooling, like, oh, they can.
Right.
And I just feel like clueless on the business side. That's why I love these comedians that they go to school for marketing and business, and then, you know, you see them at open mics with suits on. You're like, look at that fucking dork. But then once they get a little funny, next thing you know, they're like doing every show and they're selling tickets. It's like because they know how to market themselves.
You said you've been doing comedy in the city for about 7 years now.
7 years, yeah.
So where's your favorite spot right now? Favorite place to do a show?
My favorite place is I would say the comic strip, because that's it's really where I get booked most.
Yeah.
For like just paid regular past spots, and like when that room is like on a weekend when it's sold out, it's a great room. You know, and it's like so New York and like got a lot of history. Another club I really enjoy is we'll go with comic strip, and then that's it. I mean, I did the stand. I did your show at the stand.
Yeah, bro. We had an amazing time. By the way, yes, James Camacho at the stand. Dude, we had an amazing turnout that night. It was really fun.
It was like sold out pretty much.
Yeah. It was great.
No, that was great. Like I was just up there thinking like, oh my God, like, because like every stand's a great club, so every show down there must be like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, so these comics doing like 58 spots there a month. I'm like, this is their they do 58 of these a month. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that to me is like a gift, you know.
Even the shows upstairs, you know, do fairly well. There was a time during Omicron, so I guess it was probably like 8 weeks ago now, where it really slowed down and it was tough to fill one of those rooms.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, the stand is always popping, and people,
it feels good.
People, I think, also like the idea that it's not a 2-drink minimum and buy something. Like you could go to the stand, buy a ticket, and just do whatever you want.
Is that right? I didn't know.
It's like one of the only clubs in the city that actually does that.
Oh, there's no minimum.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just crazy, and people don't even know that.
How the fuck do they make money on the Chappelle shows then?
I mean, well, the Chappelle shows, they sell $200 tickets.
It's also, too, it's like the whole place is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's state-of-the-art. The food's great.
Yeah.
All the servers are gorgeous. It's one of the best hangs, if not the best hang for New York comedy.
I'd say the best hang.
Yeah, every time I go, it's amazing. Like, I always see someone I know, and it always feels good, and it's like... It's hard, like, especially if you're a working comic and you're just running around doing spots. You go there, you kind of want to just sit down and be like, "It's the fucking weekend. Like, am I supposed to turn up now?"
Yeah, man. Like 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, like no joke, you still see 15 comics just hanging out, talking,
just shooting the shit, having fun, like partying. I'm like, wow, it's amazing. Yeah, no, it's really something special, and I hope in the future I get to do more shit there.
For sure, dude. So, in traveling, have you found or had like a favorite comedy club that you've been to, headlined, or maybe done some time on? Or, favorite moment in comedy, and then maybe favorite comedy club, if you want to mix those two together.
Okay.
Mix those
two. I would say favorite club, it would probably have to be either, I guess, let's say Stress Factory.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah. I saw a picture of you doing that. Which one?
Yeah.
The Bridgeport?
No, New Jersey.
Okay.
New Jersey.
Have you done the Bridgeport one?
Bridgeport's good,
so
too.
I've done the Bridgeport. I have not done the New Jersey one.
The Bridgeport's, it's great. It's beautiful. But sometimes the crowds can be a little crazy there. The Stress Factory, New Jersey, I love because it's like, it's like a gritty comedy club, you know? Like so many New York comics go there and just fucking die, you know? Like it takes a it takes some kind of different skill to like have a good set there, you know. And when that place is like 400 people, it is fucking rocking.
Oh, so it's kind of the same size as Bridgeport. I thought Bridgeport was bigger.
I think Bridgeport might be
maybe it's bigger size wise, but like seat wise, it's
because they have that second deck in Bridgeport.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, the one in Brunswick holds maybe not 400, maybe 300. But no, it's a tough room, but at the same time, it's a great room, you know. And I like honest rooms like that. Another club that's great on the road, the Side Splitters.
Where's that?
In Tampa, Florida.
Okay,
that's just a fucking great club. I mean, they have such a great reputation for comedy that every crowd there is awesome. You know, it's one of the rare. Like I did a weekend there. They do a lot of shows a weekend. I think you do, 1 Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, and 1 Sunday. Ooh. So you do a lot of shows, and it's one of the rare clubs where I've done weekends there where every show is great. Dope. There's never a problem.
And how big is that place?
It's maybe like it's like 150, 100.
Oh, okay.
It looks bigger in photos, but it's a lot smaller in person. But it's just a great club. It's got such a rich history, and the people that go there, they're trained to enjoy comedy.
Yeah,
you know,
you love that.
Yeah, it's a great club. It's they take care of you, and it's one of the best. You know, there's probably a lot I can't even think of now that are great too, but those are two that just come right off my mind. Levity Live too, in West Nyack is gorgeous, and that's a great club too.
Any particular dates that you're looking forward to more so than others in the upcoming months?
Yeah, so I have stuff that's coming up that's like new comedy clubs I've never performed at.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I saw you're doing some stuff upstate too, maybe? Rochester? No,
not Rochester. I'm doing
upstate New York.
Doing Suffern, and then I'm doing some new some club in Seattle.
Dope.
And I'm doing the Laugh Factory and the Comedy Store in April.
Wow, nice.
And
so what, you're just going to LA and you have those spots?
Yeah, I'm going to LA right before Seattle.
Okay.
I'm going to be out there. I might as well, just have a good time.
For sure.
And then I'm doing like a new club new club for me, in Arizona, in Aurora, Illinois. So I'm excited because, I got Butterflies, like my first time there, and I'll be headlining. And like I'm starting to get comfortable headlining too. So, I think my first few headlining things, I'm like, fuck, like, oh my God, like, fuck. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Right, totally. That's funny you mentioned that. Like, people will ask me sometimes, like, do you ever get nervous before the Ted Jones comedy show? And for the most part, I really won't get nervous before those shows. But like, if I do another show, like whatever, I'm doing the comedy shop in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like that show, I would just get more nervous for. I just feel like you can kind of control, like when you headline. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like, you can kind of control the energy in the narrative, right? Like, as long as your energy's high up and great, and like you know exactly what you're gonna say in your jokes and what you're gonna say on stage, you kind of black out the audience, right? You're not like, oh shit, that joke didn't work. I hope this other joke doesn't work.
Yeah.
Especially when it's just like, this is James Camacho headlining. It's not like this is a group of comics. You might not like any of them.
There is a certain aspect where like I am the fucking guy.
Yeah, you're the guy.
I am the fucking game pal. You know. you got that one from Entourage?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Great. Yeah,
dude. Even though I hated that show because when I was 18 years old, broke up with my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
3 days later, she started dating Adrian Grenier from
Really?
Entourage. And when Entourage could not have been a more fire show. Just like 10 years ago, too, when it was hot, had to stop watching it. It was terrible.
He's nothing now. I mean, he's not nothing, but he's.
Yeah, now I'd rather be Ted Jones. But back in the day, though, it was Adrian Grenier. I was like, I cannot believe I broke up with my girlfriend. 2 days later, she's at a movie premiere with him.
In the city doing showcase clubs, you can be headliner, whatever, great comic, but if no one knows you, you're the same as that person doing an open micer doing 10 minutes. You can do just as well as the other person. Mm-hmm. If the crowd's hot, no one knows the difference. So there is that. That's a little bit like, and it's like, I think we forget like a show. There's all showcase clubs in New York, and showcase means just like you're just giving people like a kind of a sample. You're showcasing your talent. But there's definitely a lot of comics that are fucking great, and they're headlining and super established, and they can't get booked at the stand or
That's interesting.
Can't get booked, like not can't, won't. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like they're qualified for sure, like they can kill, but they're just not in there.
Well, just like in general, the Comedy Cellar, the mecca of New York comedy, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many comics that just haven't been booked there. They're hilarious. They kill other places, and maybe they just don't have the connections there, or
They just don't have a good relationship with whoever runs it.
Yeah,
There's
So
a lot that goes into it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So you were talking, or before we hopped on, you were talking about your initial podcast that you started, and now this kind of semi-new podcast. Is there a theme behind your new podcast?
Yeah. So
and shout it out, by the way.
So the new podcast is called Mixed Mutts. It is with my girlfriend.
Oh, nice, dude.
So we ask intrusive questions.
Do you guys live together? Sorry,
we do live together. Okay. Yes. So the podcast is that we ask intrusive questions about mixed race people and their ethnic backgrounds. So she's Indian and white. I'm Chinese and Puerto Rican. She's a scientist. I'm a comedian. So that's our whole like kind of like sitcom premise.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just talk about like we have like all these questions we ask ourselves, and then we just ramble on like, you know, like which race do you relate to the most? Like which parent was more strict? Like any of these cultures were imposed on you growing up, like all these just kind of crazy questions. How are we gonna raise our kids?
Oh,
like,
wow.
And then we ask other people to send in questions, and we also we haven't done it yet, but we're gonna have guests on. We're gonna highlight mixed race people of like note, and that's it. It's a very new podcast. Right now, we're answering a lot of our own questions and fan questions, and that's it. I'm excited to see where it takes us. We've gotten a lot of shit on it. About it for social media.
Really? Why?
Because we're just talking about race, you know. When you talk about race, people are gonna get upset, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the podcast I've been doing for a while now that I've been kind of off and on is called "I'm Just a Kid." That's where I have people on and I kind of interview them about their high school experience.
Nice, dude.
It's fun, and it ends up just being kind of a hang podcast. It's kind of centralized around that.
Right, like you ask that question and then kind of riff from there.
And then, then it basically becomes like a therapy session.
Nice.
You know, you talk about like, oh, you're that in high school as a kid. That's why you're fucking this right now, blah, blah. And then, you know, I've had people cry on the podcast. It's pretty
Really?
Yes. I mean, I've had a couple ladies get on there and talk about like friendships that are no more.
Oh, man.
And they're like, why don't I talk to that person? And they just start crying.
They just start calling them on the podcast?
You know, that was one of the things because so when the podcast, like I tried to book people that still had the yearbooks from high school, and I'd go through them and I'd read what people would write them.
Wow.
But it got to the point where it was getting hard to get people that had their yearbooks. But we would try to call people if there were numbers in there because you know people write their numbers KIT, keep in touch, and we would call them just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to maybe. If I can get someone to book it, maybe I can get someone to like do that where they make sure people book it where people have their yearbooks.
Yeah.
It's such a hassle. So right now I just book people and we just talk about it.
So you're doing 2 podcasts now, or you're just doing the one with your girl?
Now we're doing 2. Yeah. Now
both
I'm doing
once
2.
Both once a week?
Yeah, both once a week.
All right.
And yeah, it's, you know, a lot of it's like I like doing both of them.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. But a lot of it's to put out more content, you know. I got to try to monetize my YouTube. So, you know, each of those podcasts are like 45 to an hour long.
Yeah.
And there's some people that listen to it, and I'm trying to just qualify for money. You know, everything I do now is to make money. You know, I like doing the things I do. I'm not selling out, but everything I do now, there's a reason behind it.
Well, it started because you love doing it, and now it's come to a point where you feel like now's the time to make that cash.
Yeah. Because I think, you know, for me, I have like a lot of like self-doubt. You know, it's like who would pay for my shit? And then
a lot of people, bro.
That's you know, I don't have that in me. I really don't have like it's like, and it's a problem I have. I work through it in therapy, but it's like I don't have that thing. Like, have you seen the Kanye doc?
Yeah, I've seen the first 2.
So it's unbelievable. It's like his mom is his biggest supporter. It's like his mom's like quoting rap lyrics and like says he's great. You're gonna be famous. I support everything you do. Mm-hmm. And it's like that's why he's doing all the shit he's doing now with like him just saying whatever. I mean, everyone thinks that when they get divorced and someone's banging their wife, you know, like, oh, I wouldn't fucking kill that person. I wouldn't bury them. Like, but you just don't say it, you know, because like. Who are you to say that? You look like a psycho. Comedy doesn't care because he grew up with a mom that's literally just like, you're great. You're everything you do. Which it kind of sounds like it's bad because I'm licking it with the Pete stuff. But it's like, that's the kind of, you need that kind of mentality because he had that mixed with supreme talent. That's why he's fucking famous, you know? He's a fucking natural. He's like so talented. His music's great. And he went through everything. Like, I'm great. I'm going to make it. Because he had a mom that was like, you're great. You're going to make it, you know? So for me, it's like, I didn't have that growing up. I had more of like a, what the fuck are you doing?
Get a real job type.
Yeah, not get a real job. It's like, there's no compliments on anything I ever did. So like now I'm an adult and now I'm just like, well, why would anyone care about that? Why would this? And like now people in a social media manager, for example, or just my manager in general, they're like, no, you have something. We can you can make money. People will pay for you. And then I'm just like, all right. Now I'm starting to listen to that a little more, but it's still kind of against my DNA, if you know what I mean, or my like childhood makeup. That makes sense. It's got really deep.
Right. No. I mean, I appreciate that, bro. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think in general, you know, it's just like that self-talk, like you're talking about. And
Yeah.
like social media manager, people who do this stuff for a living, letting you know that, no, you're good. You're good. You know, is always reassuring. And then also, you know, when you're freaking headlining in places that you've never heard of and you sell out the whole room, you know, I'm sure that would do a bunch for your confidence.
That's the best where it's like, that's the reason why I do comedy. Because when you're on stage, you are the shit, you know? It's like you it's fun. It's stuff you've written and finally people are laughing and they like you. You know, you feel you're just accepted to like the most, like whatever, highest power, you know? And it's great. And one of the most kind of crazy things about comedy is like you'll do a set and then once you get off, it's like, because you have to earn that with the crowd, the trust, you know? And you get it and you're riding this magic ship. But then once the set ends, the next crowd, you got to do it all over again, you know? Unless you're famous or they know you, then you're kind of like just riding forever. But it's like, that's the way it's hard to get off sometimes. Because like, I'm killing, this is great, this is so much fun.
Blowing the light, yeah.
And once you go, all right, goodbye, everyone, you know that's gone, and then you got to work for it the next show.
Yeah, Chris
You know?
Rock said something. He was like, doing stand-up is like heroin. I don't know if he said that out loud or like in an article or if he told somebody that I know that who told me that.
The guy who used to, he just passed away, Richie Tinkin, who owned the comic strip, rest in peace. He used to tell me all the time. Like he wouldn't even say heroin or drug. He would just look at me. It's like, because I'd be like, how you doing? I was like, oh, dude. He'd be like, how was your spot? And I'm like, oh, it was great, Richie. And then he'd be like, you know, I'm like, I know, it's great. I need more. And he would always tell me, you got to get on TV, you got to get on this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I just booked this weekend in whatever fucking Des Moines, Iowa. And he's just like, yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, these shows, whatever I mentioned, you know, it's because I did some kind of reaching out work, you know,
and
emailed.
That's also the same reason we're talking here on the couch, because you DM'd.
Yeah, and listen,
you know what I mean?
It's great. It's like the show was great. It totally, you know, it was great, you know. And then you know now we're buddies, you know. Like you never know who could listen to this podcast. But what is it called? Perception's reality. You know, sometimes you just gotta be Kanye sometimes and just act like everything's great. You know, everything's you're the best. Then you go home. And then you have your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kid or your dog. There you go. Oh, God, I suck. You know, who am I to fucking? And then once you go outside in the world, that's got to go.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you got to put the mask on.
And we're alive, dude. And also, nobody gives a shit about anything the previous day unless you fucking kill someone or do something really bad.
That was one of my biggest realizations in comedy. When I was first starting out, I was so worried about how I was doing and how it was this. And I remember like doing open mics and just seeing people's heads not even looking at me. I'm like, and I also remember, and I was in college, so I remember doing like presentations, PowerPoint presentations, and seeing no one give up, like people sleeping or texting under the table. It's like, no one gives a flying fuck. But anything I'm saying right now, it's going one ear out the other.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. Even if people are listening, they have their own lives to worry about. So it's like, what the fuck am I so worried about? And I remember that switch when I finally really came to that realization. I was able to kind of just be a little more free up there.
Good, dude.
You know? Because it's like, even if you bomb, it's the worst feeling. But like, no one in the room really cares. You know? They see that guy sucks. Next second, they're just like, fuck, man. You know, I'm trying to fuck that
Yeah,
girl,
or it also,
you know?
like you were saying, like it also depends on like the situation. If you're opening, you're headlining, whatever. You're at a comedy club trying out new shit, or on a night like tonight where you have 4 spots. Like chances are, all 4 spots are not going to go 10 out of 10. You know, maybe all of them will go at least like 7.5 out of 10, which is not up to your standards, but everybody who sees you tonight is at least going to laugh once.
Yeah, and it's also like, I hate I'm trying to downplay anything, but it's like, I look at the spots and it's like, nothing. I do this in the shower a lot, which is really pathetic. I'm really opening up here.
No, I like it.
I literally
we like it.
will like I'll get anxious and I'll be in the shower. For some reason in the shower I start getting anxious because I'm getting ready for whatever I got going on that day. And I'm just like, I have to literally just talk to myself and be like, you've done this, you've done that, you've done this. These are all way more high pressure situations than your fucking 5-minute spot at the tiny cupboard. Like, shut the fuck up.
Bro,
you know,
also just put fucking notes on the door before you leave. Be the best you could be. Imagine a documentary cruise. Like, dude, look at all this fucking shit I have.
You have notes everywhere?
Everywhere. Over there in the cabinet.
You know what's funny? I did that.
Everywhere.
Oh,
dude,
look at that. Yeah.
There, everywhere, man.
Yeah, I did that once, and then I had friends over, and they're like,
dude,
why does this say get a bigger dick?
Dude,
what the fuck?
well, maybe don't put that, but just small stuff. Win, freaking focus. Whatever the fuck, man.
2022, best year yet.
Yo, let's
Mom?
go.
Is that
That's a
your
big
mom?
one. That's a big one. Where? That light?
It says mom.
Where?
Best year.
Okay.
2022, best year, mom.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry
22,
Christmas.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
to Merry Christmas.
can't
But
see the
I've
Christmas.
just, yeah, all good. I just have random stuff all over my apartment. And
I like that.
I think that has helped my mindset harden.
Your
for the most
apartment's.
part.
Your apartment's. This is you.
This is just me, bro. This is me and the studio. So I've been doing, comedy full time. I worked at my dad's company for about 6.5 years.
Okay.
So I've been doing comedy full time.
Yeah, let's talk about you.
10
Fuck,
months.
I took up so much.
Bro, I mean, you're the
space
guest,
here.
man. You're the guest.
Yeah,
so
like,
I mean,
it's
in terms of like kind of getting my footing, it took me a long time. Like you were saying, it's just like it seems like threw yourself into the mix right after college. Like doing comedy and doing everything.
I was in college.
Yeah. So for me, in terms of taking it seriously, improv and comedy, like it was a few years after I graduated college. Like I was always into theater. I was always into taking drama classes at college, doing UCB in between college summers, stuff like that. But focusing on my family business for so many years, like I like shut out comedy and I wasn't really focused on that. And I think like seeing something that I really didn't want to do for the rest of my life, even though it was family business. And, when you think about family business, you're like, okay, I need to help my family and do this. But like, you are kind of stagnant. And then what? After year 15, you start making all this money because you take over the company.
Yeah,
So that was just something I never wanted to do. And like looking at comedy from the outside in, like hanging out at the stand, hanging out with other comics that I have made friends with over the years just from being around.
Yeah.
I just saw it as like, look, I have worked at my dad's company for 6.5 years. I have some money saved up. What the hell do I have to lose? I'm not happy on a day-to-day basis. What do I have to lose? I think that, like you were saying before, like that's such an important part of living life through you being happy every single day.
Yeah, I would say this. Like, I'm so happy in the general sense. Like, I wouldn't trade this for anything.
Exactly.
But grass is always greener on most of my friends. Great job, security, salary, health insurance,
man, it's
wife,
tough to turn
car,
that down.
house. They're like, to me, that's I fucking will. Makes me just blow my load in my pants hearing that. That's security. That's all I want. That's why I'm doing the 2 podcasts and I'm social media person and I'm fucking running around doing shows, gonna get pushed on the train tracks probably one day. But it's like I'm doing it all because I'm trying to get some security. I want something where it's like, here's a bunch of money and you don't have to worry about it. Just have fun. But the chase and the doing whatever I want is great, and that's what those people, they're kind of like working for someone else. They're not working. They're basically they're making money, but whoever is giving them the money, I mean, they're making so much more money,
Yeah,
and
they could also be replaced the next day.
Exactly,
Let's not forget
exactly.
that.
And they can,
you yourself cannot be replaced the next day if you.
I can't
God
fire
forbid,
myself. Can I?
God forbid, bro. If you get COVID on Friday and you have a show Saturday night in freaking Tacoma, they're probably going to be scrambling and have a lot of issues. Whether they're going to try and find another headliner or whatever it is. You're definitely less replaceable as you would be at a job that a lot of people can do.
Yeah, man, and but I love that. The security sounds good, but I give it up to you, man, because you did something that I think we forget. It's like every comic we have to respect a little bit that they're going for it. So many people don't go for it. I was at the New York Comedy Club the other day, also a great club, and I forgot to mention New York Comedy Club. That's one of the I love.
Yeah, I see your book there a lot.
Yeah, it's a great club. There's this guy after the show. He's like, "Oh, I saw you upstate, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, cool." He goes, "Yeah, I've been thinking about, I got to get up there.
Damn,
you
bro.
see, you guys is wrestling with himself in his mind. I'm like, fucking dumbass. I'm not dumb. It's like I told him, like, yeah, nothing to lose. Just go. You might not even like it. Like, you'll go and be like, oh, what the fuck was that? What was I thinking? Oh, I'll never do that again. But you got to do it. You got to do it. Get it off your tits. So you can sleep at night, you know? And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't go for it, and they just turning in bed. Oh, well, I want to do that, I want to do that, and they just lie to themselves every day. And you didn't. Like, you felt it, and you did something about it. That is so rare, dude. Like, that is not that common. I would say maybe like 3% of people actually just go for whatever they really want to do, and everyone just becomes like a cog in whatever, and then they trick themselves into believing shit, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, let me tell you, it was extremely hard to make the decision that I made, especially when it was guaranteed salary. I really could not get fired. Going in from 9 to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Do whatever I want after work.
That's why I'm giving you a lot. That's
whatever
why I'm blowing you right now.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the thing is, you know, I think in general, if anybody listening or watching, you have your passion and you're working on it, you know, outside of work, you know, maybe take it a little bit more seriously. Do it an hour every day after work. And then once, you know, you're doing it 7 to 10 hours a week after work, you know, you start to do it more and more, and then you find a little success in doing it. And then you see, it's been a couple years. I've been able to save money. I think you just need to plan for yourself to get out of somewhere you don't want to be. That's an important part.
I agree 100%. I think, too, to add on to that, if you have any tingling of like, of you, I want to try stand up, or I want to get into music, and it's like every day you're just like, you're that creepy guy staring at people like musicians, like, or at Sam Adams, like just like playing drums that are free, but like whatever, just like go do it, dude. Just do it. If you have that tingling, it's like, just do it. Give it a shot. Like I said, you may not even like it. There's a lot of things like for drum. I wanted to try playing drums. I got a whole drum set, and I did it 2 days. I'm like, I don't have it. You know, I didn't have that drive to like keep doing it, but at least I tried. I mean, I barely tried, but it's like now I don't really have that desire.
Yeah,
you know, I have a desire to learn how to dance. I told my girlfriend the other day, let's go take some dance classes. She's like, what? The fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, well, I do have this fantasy that if we're at a club or something and the people are dancing, I don't want to be sitting there like the fucking grumpy guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking like that. No, it's because I can't dance and I want to embarrass myself. Let's change that. And, you know, I think that would make me a happier person by trying it. And I got to get her to come with me.
I love that, man. So just making your life happier by trying the things that give you freaking scary butterflies in your stomach.
If you want to do, just do it. You know, and obviously there's a lot of things that are hard to do, whether it's because they seem unattainable financially or whatever,
or no one's ever done it. Maybe
no one's ever done it, or you can psych yourself out. Like that was us, and we know how big of a deal that was. You know, and how scary it was. It's like not a big deal. So you got to do it. It's 3 minutes. I promise you. Just do anything for 3 minutes, you know? It won't be worse than planking for 3 minutes. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Planking is the worst.
Yeah, planking stuff, especially over 3 minutes.
My girlfriend says she calls me, like, the other day, this is the best compliment ever. She was like, she just called me a muscle guy, you know? She's like, you know, when people see, like, you know, what's good about you is, like, you go up there and, like, you're a muscle guy, but you're sensitive. All I hear was, like, muscle guy. Is that right? Is that right?
That's an amazing compliment.
Right. Hell yeah. You know?
Well, James Camacho, bro, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
You want anything else to close it out? You want to shout out your 2 podcasts again, please?
Yeah, so Mixed Mutts podcast with my girlfriend. That's available on YouTube. YouTube.com/James Camacho for both my podcasts. I'm Just a Kid can be on her on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at Camachbro, CAMACHBRO. I post so much fucking content. It's ridiculous.
It really does.
I do. I post every day. There's maybe like 2 stand-up clips, like a joke, a selfie joke on YouTube. There's so much content, dude. Like if you follow me, you're gonna get a lot of content. It's all free. So go fucking subscribe, support me, and just enjoy this stuff. Don't subscribe if you don't enjoy it. That's pathetic. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And if you want to come, this comes out next week.
Yeah.
So come
Thursday.
come to Suffolk, New York this Saturday.
Let's go.
Rhino Comedy Club. And then I'm at the Comic Strip Live in New York City next Friday, the 18th, I want to say, for 2 shows. And yeah.
I love the username too, Camacho, bro.
I made it in college. I was a Rutgers student. I was a big bro.
Oh, nice, dude. New Brunswick.
Yeah, New Brunswick. Yeah.
I was born in New Brunswick, spent
What?
6 weeks there, and then moved to New York. So not much of a Jersey boy.
Oh, you did the right thing. New Brunswick is not
Yes,
exactly
I,
a good area.
I praise my parents for that. James Camacho, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks,
and
Ted.
we'll see you soon, all right?
Absolutely.
Later, guys. Peace.